Is it live or is it Memorex? Or does it even matter?
Welcome to Leading Leaders Podcast. 5-minute videos, 5 days a week.
I'm Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast. And today marks 5 years since I started doing this podcast. More than 700 episodes. Now, they haven't always been called Leading Leaders Podcast. Under that name, there are about 475 episodes of Leading Leaders Podcast, but there are some that are done in almost exactly the same format that are 30 minutes long or 45 minutes long, and I called them Tell It Like It Is TV. And some of those were teaching series where there were a congruent path for 5 or 6 lessons that all fit in one nicely neat package. Like one series of 9 was called The Attitude Hack, where I went through 9 different attitudes and the concept of attitude engineering. And it was done live right here on Facebook and LinkedIn and all the others, and then also recorded for posterity. I also did Live a More Excellent Life as a 30-minute episode series right here, all 13 chapters of the Live a More Excellent Life series. I also did the Invisible to Invincible leadership series right here. And all of those were done live, then recorded. Some are now online courses because it would take you forever to try to find them on YouTube or Facebook Live, near impossible, or even on the Facebook page. You would have to scroll for a while to go back 400 episodes. But on the website, on jlorennorris.com, if you go to courses, you can actually find them under the leadership if you're in the membership. But my curiosity is, in this day of our changing society of social distancing, for lack of a better term, in the spring of 2020, I think everybody who owned a cell phone, everybody who owned a computer, everybody who got stuck at home and was left at home by themselves felt like I should hit the record button and start talking to people. And I'm just wondering, is there a dearth in the social media economy of people who went live 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 18 times in a day? Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Does it saturate the marketplace? Well, I've been right here live since May of 2015, consistently since January of 2016, maybe missed a dozen days since January of 2016. But every morning at 6:30 a.m., many times that I was even traveling across the country, I would stop somewhere and get a signal. Even some of these were done live from the Congo and Cuba when possible. And yet, it seems that they get lost in the crowd when other people are posting 16 or 15 or 5 times a day live. I also know that there are people with big, gigantic names compared to me that, when they go live, 10,000 people sign on. And that's awesome. That's awesome for them. And it's awesome that people get access to people of that caliber and that clout for free right here on Facebook Live or LinkedIn Live or Twitter or StreamYard or wherever it is that they're coming from. My question, though, is, have I reached a point where my 5-year commitment to get up at 6:30 every morning and bring this episode to you live is now irrelevant? That I'm spitting into the wind? That it doesn't really matter, nobody's really paying any attention anyway? I'm really no different than any of the other 57,000 people who decided this week they would get up and do a Facebook Live because otherwise they're just going to sleep in and sleep all day. I'm honestly curious about that. So if you have at any point been a fan of Leading Leaders Podcast, or you've poked in here and went, that was interesting stuff, and felt like it might be worth seeing on Facebook while it's live, I'd love to see a comment. Because honestly, I feel like I'm spitting into a hurricane with my little 5-minute episode every day for 5 years when everybody else is doing it. Which inclines me to say, well, maybe I'll just pull back from the live and just record an episode and I'll put it on my fan page. And if you want to go get it, you can get it there and get it from the website. And otherwise, well, I won't bother you with it. So if I don't get any comments, that'll be my plan of action. If I get some comments, I'll reconsider based on those comments. But if it's just more spitting into a hurricane because there are 10 billion other people going, hey, look, I can do live, then I won't waste your time with it. But I really would appreciate your feedback. I'm Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day.
Subscribe now for our extensive video library of leadership lessons promoting faith, family, and freedom.